Okay, here's your 2024 bamboo update for those who have been following along on my channel over the past, I don't know, it's been probably 8, maybe 9 years. I'm not sure anymore how long ago I started this anyways. But there'll be a link at the end of this video or in the description you can click on to look at the playlist for all this. This isn't going to be like a normal video I do every year, just going to do a quick update kind of showing you what's going on. This past winter was relatively mild. What you're seeing now with the bamboo, all the leaves and everything, that's been on there since last year. So I had no leaf drop, they didn't turn brown or anything. The most that actually happened was actually just there was a little bit of browning on some of the leaves and the leaf tips here, but that was it. This is pretty much, they pretty much stayed green through the winter, which is good because that means that it puts more energy into growing the new shoots, which you can clearly see here. Well, I don't know how well you're going to see it on the video, but if I get to a better contrast, there you see like that one there. That one's like, I think that's 25 feet tall at least, right up there. And I think it's as tall as that one's going to get because they're all starting to branch out, but there's several of them all through here. I was going to show when they were coming up in the beginning of May. It was actually more or less the end of April when they started to poke through the ground. It was about a week earlier than normal this year. But there was a bunch of them coming up all through there. And I wanted to show a couple things here and mention about my barrier. If I can find a spot here. So in here, you see like this one here. You see I have my black barrier there, and you can see this shoot is on the outside of it. This one right here. It's on the outside of the barrier. And then another one over there. Now that's not because they jumped the barrier. That's not because they went underneath it or anything like that. That's not what happened. So this barrier actually only goes, it doesn't make a complete circle. I don't think I've ever mentioned that before. It goes all the way back there and it stops, and it goes all the way around the other side. I think it's like 100 feet. All around the other side of the whole grove and stops back there. So it kind of like makes a horseshoe. And the reason why I did that is because I want to let the bamboo grow out, and you can see it clearly growing out over there. I want to let it grow out, and I want the area to fill in. The reason why I put the barrier here, and I mentioned this before in another video, and I don't know if anyone's actually watched that actually, because I had some bad feedback about it because there's people who just hate bamboo, and that's fine. You do you, I guess. But anyways, the barrier I put in was actually just for to keep the grove contained beyond like this fence barrier. And so the shoots will hit the barrier and redirect, and they'll continue along. I didn't want the bamboo to start creeping out this way where I couldn't really protect it. I wanted to keep it contained in an area so that the grove would strengthen and thicken up. And if I didn't have a barrier there, it really wouldn't do that very well. Plus, when I was mowing the grass and everything, I'd run them over anyways, and then the deer would get them. So I put this fence around here. There's less of it now than there was, but the problem is that the deer will eat this in the winter, and then they will, in the fall and stuff, the males, the bucks, will tear all this up with their antlers. They aggressively will just break it all up. And I had to put a fence here to stop them from doing that, or mostly anyways. So it is starting to grow outside the barrier, and it's creeping up along the edge here from the backside. And I'm letting it do it at this point. And you can see here, like all this stuff, this is all from deer. Even though there's a bit of a fence here, there was a mesh over this too, and they destroyed the mesh. The mesh is gone. I actually watched one of the deer, had it on its antler, a huge long piece, like 20 feet long, and it ran away and it dragged the whole net behind it. And it's not just like these, but I probably can't point them out, but there's more in there where it looked to me like a deer had went inside there and then started thrashing around and then jumped out and then just busted all these up. And there was a couple more on that side too. But anyways, let's go back over on this side here. You can see there's more coming out over here, all shooting up. And I wanted to grow kind of back this way. And it won't really do it that fast over this area because bamboo sort of likes to grow uphill, which this is sloped that way. And there's less sun back that way, so it tends to want to not grow this way as much. Most of the growth has always been going this way. It grows towards the sun. The roots the roots basically find the heat. So when the roots grow out underneath the ground, you know, if there was roots in here and the sun is hitting the ground and warming it up, the roots tend to go towards where the ground is warmer, so they'll grow towards the area where the sun is. So it's always wanted to come this way, and that's why I put the barrier in here, because I wanted to keep it contained, as I've said, just at least temporarily. And at this point now, I'm letting it grow. There actually is more growing back in there, a different type. It might be yellow groove, I'm not sure, but I put some back there years ago, long time before I had any of this bamboo. I put that back there, and it's just now starting to grow a little bit more, and you can kind of see it right there. And I actually put some more of this incense bamboo. That's mostly what's left here. I haven't mentioned that yet, but it's mostly just incense at this point. There might be some other types in there, but I'm not sure. And I put the incense bamboo back there as well, so this area I want this all to fill in. It's not really going to grow into the woods very well because there's no sunlight, so it's going to stay on this side of it. So the sun, or I should say the shade, kind of prevents it from growing, or I guess where you wouldn't want it to grow, which in this case, I don't think you really want to spread too deeply into the woods anyways, because I don't really mind. I think if bamboo gets too thick around trees, it'll end up killing the trees, but there actually is there's a tree in there. It's right there. It's a pine tree, or a spruce, I think. It's right in there, and it's completely surrounded by the bamboo, and it's still alive. So I think it would take a long time to choke a tree out with this stuff. But anyways, I think that's all for this year's update. Yeah, you can see there's plenty here. It's really hard to show these when there's a tree in the background, but if I show there's a sky in the background, you can see more of them sticking up. And there's a bunch more that are in there that are shorter than those, and those are all going to branch out and thicken up real soon. But that's it for this little annual update. Thanks for watching.